Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Friday. Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry, I'm late to stream because Streamlabs gave me a issue because when I opened up my Streamlabs this morning, it was all fine, and then all of a sudden, right as I go live, it's like, oh, you don't have the Ultra, so you can't go stream. And I was like, what the heck? So I had to like figure out the Ultra, and their website is horrible, super slow. So yeah, how to get that all fixed. So now we're good. Now we're streaming. It's the last stream of the year, last stream of 2024, and man, it's been good. It's been a good year of streaming. I've been enjoying it. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I've been having fun with it all, so I'm excited to see how 2025 ends up playing out. But I'm just saying, give us some time. Let us get people in here before we kind of get it started, before we start getting into everything. Usually we get like the timer in, but today we just went straight into it because Streamlabs gave me an issue. All right. What is it? Solana? Remove that. All right. Guys, 2024, we're stepping up a lot of stuff in regards to our content. We got a graphic designer that we're starting to work with for all of our thumbnails. I'm trying to be more, what's it called? I'm trying to delegate more things, so I'm not doing so much. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for 2025. We got a lot of things that we're working on that we want to give to you guys and like show our credibility. And so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very fun. I had a number text me this morning, just some random number. I searched the area code. It's an area code from Pennsylvania. And they were like, are you my yoga instructor? I was like, no, I'm not your yoga instructor. I don't know how the heck they got my number. I'd be a bad yoga instructor. All right, let's get into it. We got a good amount of people in here, and we're gonna start the stream up. We're gonna start this thing up, and we got a lot. I mean, a lot of the time that we were kind of gone. You know, we were in a holiday, so you can't really get like the technical analysis from this week is going to be kind of weird because it was a holiday, right? It was Christmas Eve. You know, next week we got New Year's Eve. So we'll see how the charts look, but they're honestly not looking great. Looks like December is actually going to be closing out red. That's what it actually looks like. December's closing out red. And it looks like our Q4 is going to be way less than what we were hoping for, right? We wanted 80% for Q4. I don't think we're getting that. I don't think we're getting that at all. So kind of bummed there. I am bummed. I wanted more out of Bitcoin in December, but you know, it is what it is. You know, we make adjustments. We can make money if it's going up or down. We just got to be smart, right? We got to be smart about it. So let's get into our typical routine, right? Of the things we look at, like the Bitcoin returns so far out of the month. We're going to look at ETF inflows, which I don't even know if there will be a lot because of the holidays. We'll see. And then we'll also get market caps, fear and greed index, and so on and so forth. Okay. So let's look at it. As you can see, Bitcoin Q4 is sitting at 50.5%. Okay. We were at over 60%, almost 70. And we've lost a majority of that towards the end of December, which is a real bummer. December is a negative 1% so far. Negative 1%. November had almost 40% gain. December, we lost 1%. Also another really big bummer for December to see it closing out like this. I really wanted December to be green. I really wanted it. I mean, it's still not over. We technically could see green still, but I wanted more than this. I wanted more than that. Weekly returns this holiday week. Let's see how it is. Yeah. So last week we got negative 8%, almost negative 9%. And now going in the 52nd week of the year, the last year week of the year, it is at almost a negative 1%. So negative 0.5%. Bummer that it's doing that. Bummer that it looks like this way, but it is what it is. And we look forward to what could potentially happen in January, right? So like if we look at the 53rd week, right? This isn't a leap year, so we don't have a 53rd week. But in the 52nd week, we can go to January, right? Let's go to the monthly returns for January. So December, -1. What is after an election year? So that would be 2021 and 2017. What does January look like? 2021, 14.5%. 2017, it was like basically break even. It didn't really do anything in January in 2017. So maybe January we see a really good year or month. January could be the month where we see double-digit returns in 2025, right? So we're not there yet, but it looks like after an election year, okay, and after like a good November, good October, right? Which we had a good October, good November. We didn't have a terrible December, right? Negative 1% is not horrible. It's not ideal, but that's not terrible. It's worse than 2020, where it's 46.5%, almost 47%, right? So January to March could be pretty good months for 2025. And that's where we could see that green movement coming in on Bitcoin. So maybe we're not getting in December, right? As you can see, we're almost done. But January, February, and March, we could end up seeing some good bullish momentum. Let's look at the weekly returns. Why isn't it moving? There we go. Okay, so 52nd week, or let's look at like the first week of so we're looking at potentially what next week looks like, right? 2021, the first week of the year almost saw 16% in 2021. That's the week after the election year. Okay, the first week of that year. In 2017, we saw -8. So it's kind of a toss-up right now of what we could see. The average return on the first week of the year is 1.5%. So we'll see. We'll see what this next week actually gives us, right? Keep in mind it is a holiday, so might not be good. Monthly returns for January, the average is 3.5%. Okay, February's average is 15.5%. So 2025 might kick off pretty green. Okay, pretty green. for us. So I'm kind of excited to see how January performs, and also how the first week of the year performs next week. I don't know if I'm going to be trading much. I haven't traded pretty much at all this week, or might not trade at all next week because it's so many holidays. So I'm kind of weary of trading right now because of the holidays, right? And the new year starting up, right? It's been, if you've looked at the charts, it's been a little weird in regards to like the volume and stuff. It's not a lot of consolidation, a lot of like nothing, and it's not very fun. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how next week performs, but it looks like we're closing out December negative. Okay, looks like we're gonna, what is this? Thank you. Okay, get out of that. All right, so December, what was Monday of this week? Was that the 23rd? Okay, 23rd, right here. This is when our week started. We started off on a negative day. Then you have Christmas Eve, another $338 million sold off. Then a holiday, no, they're not allowed to buy or sell, right? Holiday, nothing. But they get back from holiday on Thursday, the 26th, and look at that. $475 million put into the market yesterday. They're buying the dip. It looks like, right? That's what it looks like. Maybe taking some losses here to help them for 2025 taxes. I don't know. And then again here, you see Thursday buying it up, buying that dip up. So that's interesting to see. That's interesting to see that they, right after the holiday, you see a large inflow of $475 million. I'm interested to see what today will close out to. I don't know. I don't think today's a holiday. Today is not technically a holiday. Next Tuesday? Wednesday. Next Wednesday is a holiday though. Okay? Next Wednesday is a holiday. So we have one more holiday until the year, or really when the year begins, right? New Year's Day. And I think New Year's Eve, the markets might close a little early. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. So that's fun to see though. Yesterday there's a big inflow on market cap. So let's see on the Bitcoin. Crypto market cap is still in the red. Okay, we're at $3.28 trillion. We saw peaks of 3.74, 3.76 trillion. We're still red in the market cap of crypto. Not looking great. And we're almost dead even on Bitcoin or altcoin season. It's leaning a little Bitcoin, but it's 47, right? 47 out of 100. So it's very, very close. Fear and greed index is neutral. That's good to see, right? I like neutral. I'd want to see a little bit of fear. Fear to me is a buy signal when we start seeing fear. I would love to see it tap into fear before we really start going green, because then that means we see a good, nice corrective dip before we see green again. So fear and greed index, we're at 54. Okay, let's see Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is definitely dominant right now, over 57%. We haven't seen it that high in a while. Ethereum's at 12, altcoins at 30. Those really haven't moved much. Really, Bitcoin has taken a lot of the dominance here. Let's look at market caps. Okay, Bitcoin's at 1.8 trillion. Ooh, Ethereum is under 400 billion market cap now. Under 400 billion there on Ethereum. XRP is under 130, almost under 120 billion. They have not seen this low in a while, probably about a month. So that's kind of crazy to see XRP that low. BNB at just under 100 billion. And then Solana actually broke 90 billion and is sitting at $88 billion market cap, still at number 6 spot. I don't love seeing that, but could be an entry opportunity, right? Could be entry opportunity. We'll see. We'll see how Solana's looking on the charts. Okay. Okay, let's get into some technical analysis here. Let's do some. We're gonna do Bitcoin. We're gonna do Bitcoin. We're gonna do Solana, and we're gonna do Ethereum. The really big 3 ones. XRP, I don't love doing the TA on that because it's so volatile. Like the swings are so heavy. But Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum tend to get some good technical analysis that I think could be good indicators for the market. So we're going to first start with Bitcoin, then work our way down to Solana. Okay. Bitcoin, this is on the monthly time frame. Let's exit out of that. Bitcoin, this is on the monthly time frame. And look at that, right? You have this move up, boom, 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 boom. consolidation, right? Consolidation, push up, right? Good start to the bull run. Good start to the bull run here. Looking really good on Bitcoin. Now, let's throw a fib retracement up there. We want to see price for Bitcoin. I really want to see. I want to see price of Bitcoin fall down into here, right? And then bounce out of the fib gold. I want it to come down and bounce out. So that's what I would love to see on Bitcoin. Let's see if the chart is kind of showing us that if it might do that. Could we see Bitcoin fall down into the $80,000 range, maybe even as low as $75,000 Bitcoin? Let's see what it's looking on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame looking bearish, a little bearish, not really bearish. It's looking bullish, but like looking like there's in the short term going to be some bearish moves, right? We have a bearish engulfing candle here. We got a big, we got a fair value gap here, fair value gap there. Could fall all the way to as low as this fair value gap, right? We got liquidity down here, liquidity positions down here that price would be a magnet to. We also have some liquidity that could be here, right? Liquidity could go there. Let's mark up some liquidity areas here. Boom. And then boom. Okay. Marked up some liquidity. Mark up some of these. We're going to go 4 hour. Okay. Mark up some potential support areas where price could see. Right? I don't think it would go this low, but it's important to mark it because they overlap. Actually, I'll do this one. They do overlap though. Those boxes there. Okay. So weekly time frame is looking bearish in the short term, right? It does look on the weekly like Bitcoin would fall into the gold zone, right? Into this gold zone here. And now let's look at the daytime frame. Daytime frame looks pretty bearish. Okay. Why do I think it looks pretty bearish? This right here. So you have that downtrend beginning to form, right? Higher high to some higher lows that were broken, higher low, right? Or lower low. Sorry, lower. Oh my gosh. I always mess these up. Lower high, lower low, higher high, lower high, right? Some structure being formed there. You have liquidity over here that was tapped into. Looks like it's breaking in, right? You also had some liquidity here. Tapped into, pushed down, right? So I think we're going to be pushing down. You have liquidity on the daytime frame down here. You have liquidity on the daytime frame down here. And I'd say probably down here would be a good one they see on the day time frame. So yeah, I could see on the day time frame Bitcoin falling into the gold zone just barely right here at 85,141. But if that breaks and this support here breaks, then I think we fall down to the next support down here, which would be about 75k. What's this line actually? Like 73,870 would be what I could see it falling to. That's the day time frame. Looking bearish, looking like we're gonna fall into the gold zone on fib retracement. And lastly, it's going to the 4 hour, right? 4 hour, right? You see. Let's talk about this. So you see here. Actually, let's do this. Let's go to the day real fast. So you see on the day, structure to be formed, right? Structure is forming, right? Oh, nope. What? Okay, let's do that again. Boom, 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 boom. You see structure forming here. Now, if you go down to the 4 hour, you see there's some substructure, right? Substructure meaning the main structure, right? We got some bullish movement here. You have a lower low here, a higher high. Then you have a higher high or higher low here, right? Higher low to this, failing to break a higher high over here. So you have this substructure coming back up to liquidity over here to then be pushed down to continue on the main structure of the Bitcoin push, which gives me reason to believe that we will go lower. Why is everything so down right now? I don't know why I don't know why exactly it's down. I'm just going off a price movement, but yeah, it just looks like we're in some bearish movement. I think we are in a corrective move to create structure for more bearish movement on higher time frames like weekly, right? So if you look into the weekly time frame, right, we had this major push up. We need to create a higher low here, right? Somewhere here, we need to create a higher low that would have structure form to get pushed up further to make then higher highs, right? Which it would look more like this, right? So you have weekly time frame breaking out, massive bullish formation. Then you need to create a higher low to then a higher high, higher low, high, right? And then continue that on. So you need a higher low, higher high, higher low, right? On the weekly time frame, we're creating that structure. Okay, it can't just be up only always, right? So I think right now, if you look at the weekly time frame, we're just creating the structure, right? And if you deleted the day time frame structure that we're talking about, if you go to the weekly time frame, right, you have this. Are we on the weekly? Yep. So you have weekly time frame structure, higher low, higher high, right? Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? We need to create structure. So if this is the weekly time frame main structure that we're going to create, and we go down to the day time frame, right? You got all this little substructure. You have this substructure, right? These little ups and downs, right? And if you go down to the 4 hour, you have even more substructure, right? Following the red line, right? You have even more substructure, bearish trend, bullish trend, bearish trend, right? And so I think what we're seeing is the lower time frames like day and 4 hour on these, day and 4 hour, are creating substructure that looks very bearish to create weekly time frames or monthly time frames main structure, right? Which is necessary for the market in order for it to go back up, right? So all the big money needs to start creating all this, capturing all this liquidity before they can push it up and get more money into the market, right? So I think we're going to see bearish momentum to get down into that Fibonacci gold zone. So let's look at the 4 hour, right? What does the 4 hour look like? 4 hour looks like in these last couple days and weeks, we've seen some consolidation, right? We've seen some consolidation here. We captured this liquidity here, right? Swept this liquidity, and now they're pushing it down even further. So it looks like we're actually going to go further. We do have these liquidity zones, right? These white lines here. See what happens at those liquidity. But I think we could fall as low as down to these liquidity zones down here, or support, whatever you want to call it, right? Support could be liquidity, or liquidity is just where orders are that would cause price to then get pushed up, right? But we do have bearish structure and bearish formation here on Bitcoin, okay? And I think if you look at like the day and the 4 hour, I think it's very likely that we break down, keep pushing downwards into the fib gold zone, and maybe in this weekly time frame fair value gap, let's add a fair value gap, right? We got 2. that I see. We have this fair value gap. And then we have this fair value gap. Let me see something real fast. There we go. So we have two fair value gaps here. Right? This could be the breakaway gap. So this could actually be a breakaway gap, right? Where this could be the fair value gap that saves us from falling too far, right? So you have this, this gap, and now price is falling back to these gaps. So I'm very interested to see how does price react on Bitcoin when we tap in right around $85,000 Bitcoin. Yo, Battle Beast. Good morning. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what happens when Bitcoin hits 85K. I think we do. I think we're gonna hit 85K. I think when we tap into this 85K and this fair value gap, I think we're gonna see movement up, probably a higher low created, then higher highs, right? And then structure continues on. So I'm excited to see what happens when we tap into this fair value gap on the weekly time frame. If you look at the day, right? The day time frame, we might even be able to shrink down that fair value gap, right? Tighten it up. Let's see. Let's tighten it up. Boom, we got that fair value gap. And we have this fair value gap here. That fair value gap, let's change that back. And then we also have this fair value gap down here. I don't think we tap down to this guy. I don't think we tap down to that guy, because if you look left, we had this fair value gap, right? Price came into it, pushed off, right? What do I mean by that? Let me show you. Boom, we have that fair value gap. We had this fair value gap, right? Let me delete these real fast. So if you're looking at these fair value gaps, right? Price from this fair value gap pushed up, came back down, almost hit it. I think it just barely missed it. Just barely missed it, then pushed back up, right? This push up created a fair value gap. Price tapped into the fair value gap on the weekly time or day time frame, pushed up, right? We haven't tapped into this fair value gap. We haven't tapped into this fair value gap or this fair value gap, right? So I think price needs to come down to these fair value gaps and figure out where is it going to react? Where is it going to push back up? Which will create the higher time frame structure. But I don't think we will go lower than this 85 or as low as the 78 here. I don't think we break below these two. I think these two will catch us. Because as you can see here, there was some liquidity that created structure, right? That broke above that. Then we had a push. We had liquidity form here, push. Now we're falling back into it. So I'm excited to see what happens. We might have to fall. We could fall to this one, because I don't think we fall to this low, but I think we could, in a worst case scenario, fall back down to like 68K. Worst case scenario, to get this liquidity that was captured here after all these breakaways, after all this breakaway here. So we'll see what January looks like and the rest of this month, because we got a couple more days left of December. But that's where I'm trying to right now. What I'm trying to do with Bitcoin in regards to my trading, right? Bitcoin right now is like a falling knife. If you guys have ever heard this concept, Bitcoin's like a falling knife. As it's falling, you don't want to try to grab it, right? And catch that long. You want to wait for it to fall, bounce and fall, right? You want to wait for Bitcoin to fall, right? Create some support, then create a higher low. You want to capture it. You want to capture Bitcoin, not here. Okay, you don't want to capture it there. You would want to capture Bitcoin here. After it fell, after price showed you its supports there, after price shows you structure forming on a day or a weekly time frame, right? And then catch it on that. And what would we do when we want to catch that long? We would set like a fib retracement from this to this peak, right? We'd wait for price to come down to the gold zone on that weekly time frame. Then we would enter in. So I'm currently not trying to catch a falling knife. I'm not trying to catch this low and get the snipe the perfect entry. I want to see it fall, bounce, create structure, enter, then ride it, right? I also want to see on the day or weekly time frame, I want to see liquidity to get grabbed. I want it to take out some liquidity before it pushes up, because the big money is going to need liquidity before it pushes up. And liquidity, what I see here, is all the way down to potentially under $70,000 Bitcoin, right? We could fall all the way to $70,000 Bitcoin in order to grab liquidity. Now, if you look left here, there is liquidity in these areas of these lows that you see. And I'll be interested to see what we do there, or these fair value gaps, right? The fair value gaps too could show up a show of support when price falls into them. So that's why I want to mark these out. So if we fall into this fair value gap, but then disrespect it, I'm gonna delete it. Because then that shows, okay, it didn't matter. That fair value gap didn't matter, right? That means we're gonna fall to the next one. See what it does here. If it doesn't respect this one, okay, delete it. Let's see what it does in this fair value gap. Doesn't respect that, or if it does, right, then we take note of that. So but yeah, right now I think Bitcoin falls lower. So if Bitcoin's gonna fall lower, right, if Bitcoin's gonna have a fall, what do you think Ethereum and Solana's gonna do? It's probably gonna follow, right? No, sir, this is your downside trap. You think it's a downside trap? I don't know. I don't know if I see a downside trap right now. That's why I don't want to get stuck in the trap, right? That's why I'm waiting to see where does price fall, and then where does it begin to create structure, right? That's why I don't want to enter in like anticipation of like, oh, it's a downside trap or whatever. I want to see it create like here on the daytime frame, right? You see it broke this low here, right? You see it broke that low. Okay, we delete that. It broke this low, made a lower low right here, right? Made a little bit of a lower low. Well, not really, actually. It kind of supported it there. Came back to this liquidity up here that is formed, created structure for bearish, right? For bearish structure, it broke down, made a lower high, and now we might be breaking down to this liquidity and breaking lower, which would create a lower low, right? Which would be a confirmation of bearish structure. Now, I think this bearish trap could end in the gold zone, right? That's what I've been saying. I think it ends in the gold zone. It won't touch the 70s. It will touch 85 to 88 on a wick and bounce next week. I think so too. Which 85 is the middle of this fair value gap, right? Or actually the top of this fair value gap right here. The bottom of this wick and this liquidity, 85K, which there is liquidity on the day time frame, right? If you look at this low here, there's liquidity over here, right? There is liquidity over here. Let's mark that out. We're gonna put it here. We could find support right in this area, right in this blue box, right? That would probably tap it in to the fair value gap here on the day time frame. Because if you look left, we don't have any fair value gaps. There was this fair value gap, it got disrespected. There's this bearish fair value gap, got disrespected. This bullish fair value gap got disrespected. This bearish fair value gap never tapped back into it. So there is no fair value gap over here. The nearest fair value gap is to the left down here, which in the center is about $83,351 Bitcoin. I think we could fall as low as that, but I think here you're going to see this, right? We tap into this liquidity sweep of that, push up, make a higher low, then push up from there. Now for me, I'm not trying to enter here. Again, I'm not trying to enter here. I want to enter here. On that structure formation, that's confirmation of bearish structure, right? That's where I want to enter. I would create a fib retracement, all that stuff, right? Now, what if it doesn't support this though? Then the nearest liquidity is down to the left down here in the 70s, right? So I think we first need to see, right? I think you're right. Dank sport cards. I think you're right. I think this is first the most important area we need to focus on before we even consider falling down to these areas down here, which would be 70K. We need to focus in on 85K first, right? 80 to 85K, whatever that is. It could fall to 83, could fall down to the bottom of this fair value gap at 81, right? But I think this here is the most important currently before we even consider these lower ones. So we'll delete these right now, just so you guys know I'm focusing in first on these guys, right? We need to see what price does here. This is our area of interest. There's liquidity here, right? And then there's a fair value gap here. So I think that's what we need to focus in on. If you're wondering how low could this go, this is a great spot to look at. I think the drop to mid to high 80s will get everyone super bearish, and then that's where we go back up to range and then out. Yeah, I think if we hit the sub 90, right? I think the fear and greed index on CoinMarketCap is definitely going either very low, neutral, or fear, which is a buy signal, right? As soon as it starts getting fearful in the market, that's a buy signal, right? People are going to start freaking out. People are like, oh, the bull run's over. But smart money is pushing it down, right? Let me try to explain this real fast to anybody who doesn't know, right? Let me put it in here real quick. So, right, we had this move here, right? We had a big move, we had bearish structure form, and we had a big push up, right? This is Bitcoin in 2024, right? We had big bullish movements, right? Which every single one of these lows creates a liquidity point. Let me make it thicker so you can see, right? Every single one of these lows creates liquidity. Now, again, price cannot go up only always, right? It can't. It just can't do that. It has to, right? This big money needs liquidity in order to keep pushing it up, right? So what is big money going to do? Big money is going to push it down to these liquidity areas, and it's going to tap in before it can really start pushing up again to make that structure again, right? It needs this liquidity to keep pushing it up. It's going to range, then go out of that range, right? So right now, this is what we're seeing. We saw that big crazy push, right? In October to November, December, right? This is December area. We're in December right in here. As price is going lower, people are going to start then. This is where fear comes in. This is when fear comes in, right? This December to January area, fear is going to come in, right? People are going to start freaking out. Oh my gosh, it's a massive dip. It's over. When in reality, the really, really big money needs it to go down in order for them to capture liquidity to put in their billions of dollars into the market, right? They don't want to just keep putting their money in, right? Big money wants the perfect buy opportunity. They want the perfect price, and they will always get the perfect price, right? And so what are they doing? They're pushing it down to get that perfect price up here or down here before they push it back up, right? And then they're going to allow it to move up again. it's just market structure, right? Now, between these big moves, these big market moves, right, you're going to have the substructure where we can trade in bearish trends or whatever if you want to short. But for me, I'm trying to go the long, big structure. And so I'm waiting for the substructure to allow the main structure to go bullish before I enter in. And I hope that's making sense. Yeah, 20% drop in a bull run is on par. I agree with you. Dang sports cards. I totally agree with you. This is normal. This, what I really hope if anybody's watching our stream right now, what I hope is you guys see this as the opportunity not to freak out, not to allow your emotions, but to say, hey, let's be smart about this, right? This is substructure getting formed. This creating buy opportunity because big money wants the perfect buy-in for all their billions of dollars they want to put into the market. Then they're going to push it up. Now, for me, I'm not the perfect guy and the perfect entry. So I'm not waiting for perfect entry here. I'm going to wait for structure to be formed, then enter. That's my strategy. I like to be patient and wait for structure, then enter, and then hold that big move. Because once they create that bullish structure and begin moving it up, they're going to let it run, right? Back to all-time highs, back to price discovery and all that stuff. Yeah, same. I don't want to do shorting either. I'm not a shorting guy right now because, right, I'm not trying to catch that falling knife. I don't want to get caught. What if they all of a sudden find the liquidity and they start pushing it up and I get caught, right? I agree with you. I don't want to do shorts right now. I'm waiting for the long opportunities. And that's what I'm waiting for right now. So let's delete this stuff, but I hope that kind of makes sense to anybody. I'm trying to explain what I'm like waiting for here and what I'm seeing, and I hope it made sense. We just need that structure to be formed. And big money needs liquidity in order to push it up. Right? This is their perfect buy entry. Right? This is price discount, and they want that. They want an 85k Bitcoin before they send it to 120, 150k Bitcoin, right? They want that. Good morning, Kyle. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday. Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. If you can, like the stream, share the stream, you know, do all that stuff. It really helps our content. It really helps support us, and we really appreciate it when you guys do that. Seriously, I do. I really, really, really appreciate it when you guys do that. Sweet. Okay. Let's look now that we've kind of like targeted Bitcoin, right? Our target for Bitcoin's in sub 90k. My guess, the next week, the next potential 2 weeks, we see Bitcoin fall to 90k. Especially with the holiday coming up, I think we see Bitcoin head sub 90k. But again, like even Dang Sports Cards was saying, I think we could see wick off here in the fair value gap or in this support zone here where liquidity's at, and then we wick off hard. And then you're going to find that support. You're going to see liquidity get swept, and then we're going to get pushed up. Push up from there. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay. Ethereum again failed to break structure here. Bummer thing, it failed to break structure there. Not great. Not great for Ethereum. I don't love that. But what I do love still is the breakout of this formation, right? It broke out, but it looks like we're falling back in. Okay, I would like to see Ethereum on the monthly time frame push back above this trend line that we saw here of this pennant formation here on Ethereum, right? Yep. What is this? Okay. Let's look at the weekly time frame. So look at that. Completely normal price movement here. You got a breakout here. Let's put it there. No, put it here. Okay. You have a breakout right? Let's do a little fib here on the weekly time frame. Okay. Ethereum, you got a breakout, retracement, push up. Okay, so let's put a fib retracement here. And let's look at what Ethereum's doing. Look at that. It's tapping into the gold zone here on the weekly time frame. Ethereum looks pretty good. It tapped the 0.5 and now it's pushing up, right? It has a fair value gap. No, it does not. I'm sorry. It does not have a fair value gap there. Does not have a bearish fair value gap. The only fair value gap I see is down here, right? I don't think we tap into this guy. But that is one fair value gap. We could maybe tap in and wick off, but I don't think we tap into this fair value gap. It looks like we're finding support and liquidity here. I bet it's on the day time frame it's finding liquidity. Yep. So this is what I see here. You have these lows with liquidity and price did not use it. You're looking at Sunday? Okay. Did you shave? I did. Literally had to full screen. Did you shave? I did. I shaved the mustache. You're the first one to notice. I mean, I don't know. No one said it yet, but you're the first one to notice. It was a Christmas gift to my wife. She likes me without a mustache, and I shaved for her. I don't know if I like it. I'm still figuring out. I loved my mustache. It was hard to shave it. I did it for her as a little surprising Christmas gift, but I don't know. I think I'm more of a mustache person. I look completely different, right? I do. I feel like I look in the mirror and I'm like, holy smokes. I didn't realize I had that mustache for like four years. Not convinced it's you. I'm a poser. 90% sure you have a brother. I do have a brother. He's not anywhere close to me, but like in regards to land. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, dude. Looks good. Thank you. Yeah, dude. I have not had a mustache in like 4 years, probably. 4 years I've had the facial hair. So it was crazy to like shave. I feel like it's completely different. It feels weird. But if you look on, look here on Ethereum, right? There's liquidity here. Look what price did. Boom. Price tapped into that liquidity. There's liquidity down here. Price didn't tap into that liquidity, but there is this fair value gap on the day time frame. Look at that. We're going to delete this. And we're going to do, look at this. Look what price did on this fair value gap here. Boom. Tapped to that Ethereum fair value gap. Tapped into that Ethereum fair value. And look what it did on there. Look what it did in that fair value gap for Ethereum. Wicked off hard. Wicked off hard. Whoom. Liquidity sweep right here. Higher low made. Look at that. That's actually structure for Ethereum right there. Boom. Liquidity sweep. Higher low. Here also could form a higher low. We'll see what it does. This could potentially be a higher low here on the day time frame for Ethereum, which then we could see Ethereum do, hopefully make a higher high, right? And then push up, right? We would need to break these highs here. But Ethereum's looking pretty good. Tapped that fair value gap nicely. Took out this liquidity, right? We even have this. Tapped into that. So we have this little support zone right down here. Tapped into the support. Swept liquidity throughout here. Boom. Boom. Took out all that liquidity, and now it's probably going to push up. Ethereum's actually looking kind of bullish on the day time frame. Ethereum, I like Ethereum right now. Keep it shade for a bit. Give it time to grow on you. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it for a little while. I might keep it for like a month. Uh-oh. I think one of my streams went down. My stream did go down. Why is my stream going down? Why did my stream get taken down? That's weird. Oh, something happened with my... Something happened with my Twitter. And it took down my entire stream. That's a bummer. Oh, well, but yeah. So if you look, we tapped into this fair value gap here. So I'm going to delete this one because it respected that fair value gap we're currently at. And then it tied this point of inducement here with liquidity right here, tapped in there really nicely, right? Made a higher low, pushed up, didn't make a higher high, but we did make a higher low again, potentially, right? This candle still got to go. But if we push up, we would need to make a higher high from these peaks over here, right? Now, this could be bearish structure forming. We could go lower. For Ethereum, we could go lower, but we got to see what price does here, right? Let's see what the 4 hour is doing. 4 hour probably looks a little bullish. Let's see. I'm gonna delete these guys real fast. Liquidity is here and liquidity in this area, fair value gap. Look at those candles, right? Tapped in, took swapped liquidity, pushed right back up. 4 hour, we have a higher low made here. We do not have a higher high made. But what could have happened here is liquidity could have been swept and it potentially can be pushed lower here. And there's liquidity over here too. And there's also liquidity over here now. Okay. So I'm very interested here. This liquidity got swept. I'm interested to see now, what does price do here? Do we see a liquidity sweep down to these before it pushes up? Or do we see the opposite where it goes up here, sweeps this liquidity up here before it falls down, right? I'm interested to see what does Ethereum do. What I am seeing here is that this is some substructure before the higher time frames create more bearish structure before we go lower, right? But what I'm also seeing on the weekly time frame is we are in the gold zone. We are in the gold zone. It's very hard to tell right now, in my opinion. How did my daughter react? She actually didn't even really care. I think she's like so little, right? She's only like 2 months old. So like she's so little, like she doesn't like probably recognize it. So she didn't really actually care. I think she honestly probably liked it when I gave her like kisses on her cheek because she doesn't have that rough hair rubbing on her anymore. So yeah, when it comes to this could have been bearish structure forming here on Ethereum. Then now we're going to push down and follow that, which would then mean we could, on the weekly time frames, right, we did have that fair value gap we were watching over here, and that fair value gap could be where price goes. But right now we are in a key fair value gap, and it looks like price is respecting it. So this doji candle, if it closes like that, and then pushes up, that'd be good confirmation of bullish formation, I think. 4 hour, let's see. 4 hour, if you look here too on the 4 hour of Ethereum, higher low made, right? Right, so you got this, right? That's structure formation there. That is structure, right? Higher low made, pushing up. Now, the only last thing we need is for these highs to be broken, right? We need price to break those highs before we really can say that it's going to be pushing up and go bullish, right? We really need those highs to be broken on Ethereum. Okay, let's look at Solana now. Okay, Ethereum, I think we're on the brink of potential bullish move, or really on the brink of bearish. I think it's like in a consolidation period on like the 4 hour of like it could potentially fall from here or find support and actually begin to create structure and push up higher. I think Ethereum's at a pretty important point. I think the final say will be here. What does price do up here? Because down here it's creating structure, but it failed to create structure over here. And what we could see is that this is a bullish trap, right? And actually price is going to push up, sweep liquidity from these, and then push down, right? I think that's honestly what will happen with Ethereum here. I think we see this is a bull trap, liquidity sweep, push down. I think that's what's going to happen, in my opinion. But we'll see. We need to know if this makes structure. Let's look at Solana. Solana also is not looking great. Just to be, I am a huge Solana fan, but in regards, I mean, look at that. That monthly candle almost engulfs the entire thing. We got this fib retracement here. We are in the gold zone. Very interested to see what happens here on Solana. We do have this formation. Oh, you can't really see that. Right, we have this formation we've looked at for a while. Boom. We broke out of that formation. We came back and retested it. So let's look at what it shows on the weekly time frame on that retest. All right, that actually doesn't look bad. That actually doesn't look bad at all. Okay. I actually like that. Let me go from here. Yeah, this is the monthly one. I actually like that. Because if you look left, boom. Also, we have this fair value gap. Boom. Price tapped into that fair value gap on the weekly time frame. You got this support zone over here. Not only are they overlapping and price is finding support, but it looks good. That should probably go here. Okay, I'm interested to see what Solana does here. At 185 right now. We're at 185.85. I think we find support here. That's a retracement back to 0.618. Let's see the day time frame. What is the day time frame? Okay. That's what I see on the day. All right, we got this fair value gap on the day. Okay, and then we got this too. Ooh, that actually looks pretty good for Solana. You got this. Okay, let's see this. I think Solana is actually finding its support finally. Yeah, I think Solana is looking pretty good actually. So what I see, Solana tapped into the fair value gap, right? From the left, tapped in, and it's respecting it, right? Potentially making a higher low here. We'll see what Solana does, right? On the day time frame, but it's looking good. If we can start breaking some of these trend lines on the day timeline or time frame, I think it could look pretty good. Because you have liquidity over the left here. Price grab liquidity. And nothing happened there. So because nothing happened at this liquidity, it's got to go to the next liquidity zone, which would be fair value gap or down here. We might see Solana fall. We could see, I think, Solana fall down to 150s. Potentially. If it doesn't continue to support here on the fair value gap, if we see it begin to disrespect this fair value gap, I think we fall to here and then we push up. Right? I think that's what I'm seeing here on Solana. Let's see the 4-hour first. Yes, 4-hour looks very similar to like Ethereum. Liquidity. Liquidity on the 4-hour. You got, it looks very similar to Ethereum. It's kind of funny. You got this liquidity here too. I'm interested to see what does Solana do here too. Do we have a fair value gap on the 4-hour? No fair value gaps over here. Nothing. No fair value gaps at all. Right? No fair value gap. No fair value gap. No fair value gap. No. Nothing. So I think this move, if we create bullish structure here, this would create a fair value gap. But right now I do see from this low to this low, that's higher low. Higher low. Now we did fail to make a higher high. Right? We did fail to make a higher high here. From this peak over here to left. Now maybe this move, after we make a higher low, pushes up and makes a higher high. We do need to see it create a higher high here on Solana. 4-hour EMAs looking bearish too. Yeah. I would like to see what happens here. We also got this. Not a fair value gap. Let me fix it. Price tapped into there. Potential little support zone. Maybe could even go to this one actually. Price almost got to that one. I'm going to say this one because this one actually from here, right? If you look at Solana here, my head might have been blocking it. Sorry. But if you look, we're zooming in right in this area. Right? We had this consolidation. Right? This up. Yeah, this up, down, up, down, up. Right? So what I see here is from this liquidity, price made a higher low. Right? From there, pushed up. Point of inducement. Boom. From here. Boom. And there. You look there. Price tapped back into there. Boom. Ooh, I'm starting to see it. I've been practicing my liquidity stuff. I've been really trying to learn liquidity. We need to see it break that 202. Yeah. I've been really practicing. Look what I see here. So look, we have push up. Okay. this push up creates some liquidity down here, right? Smart money says they pushed up. Oh, they're going to think it's bullish. Made a higher low, right? There's now liquidity under these lows because investors like myself or you guys, we set our stop losses. We do this, right? We go long. We say, oh, look at doji candle pushed up, made a higher low. Let's enter here, right? Normal investor goes, ooh, this is going to be a great trade. I'm gonna put my stop losses at this swing low here, right? I'm gonna put my stop loss here at this low. Boom, this is gonna be banger. This is gonna be a banger trade, right? I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit my TP up here, right? It's a, let's say it's a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, right? 3-to-1. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Boom. Big money says, ooh, I know there's a lot of people that put buy orders down here. I'm gonna sweep that. Look at that candle, sweeps the liquidity, pushes up. All those people are now out. Now big money can begin to push it up. But now there's liquidity too here, right? More investors say, oh, look, price is making higher lows. It's going to continue up. Again, people open up their positions after this one. They put it down on this low, right? All this liquidity. And on the 4-hour, it's yet to really give good confirmation of higher low, right? It hasn't really given good confirmation. So people begin putting their stop losses down at these lows. Boom. Smart money says, look, there's liquidity down here. I need that to go higher. As you see, boom, they push it down, sweep some liquidity. Then you have this candle, right? Big wick candle. Big wick candle that sweeps this candle right here. See that sweep, that wick, and then pushes up? That's a sweep of liquidity there because they know there's a bunch of stop loss orders here. There's probably liquidity over here at these stop loss orders, especially if they put their position over here and now they move their stop loss up, right? Say this is you. This is what I would have done in my, what I used to do things, right? Ooh, I see this low made. Okay. Boom. I caught this trade. It pushed up. Ooh, it broke this high over here. Ooh, that's bullish structure, right? I'm holding. Okay. It's coming back down. Okay, it made a higher low here. I'm going to move my stop loss up now, right? Oh, nope. That's not what I wanted. What is it? Oh, that's the fib. Let's just delete that real fast. Ooh, I'm going to move my stop loss up, right? I see. Oh, it made a higher low. I'm moving my stop loss up. Now there's a ton of stop losses from this low over here. What is smart money going to do? They're going to sweep all that liquidity, right? Sweep all that liquidity. And then they're going to be able to push it up. And as you can see, that's what they're doing, right? That's what they're doing. They swept the liquidity. They pushed up. Broke these highs over here, right? Or actually, let me draw this, right? There's this consolidation here. Consolidation there. Consolidation there, right? They swept the liquidity. Now they push up and out, okay? And now the opportunity you had it as an investor, and I did too, was when it moved this, right? It swept liquidity, pushed up. Then you see here, it made a higher a higher low here. That's your opportunity to wait. We don't enter here, right? You wait here. You push it up, push it up, push it up. What we can do as investors to not get stuck in what smart money does, we set our fib retracements, right? Oh, let me, you can set it down to like this guy, this full move, right? This full move here. Boom. What do you see here? Price hit the gold zone, tapped into a bigger time frame fair value gap, and now it's supporting it. So now I want to see further bullish structure get formed, right? I would like to see Solana go back into this gold zone here, and also from this point of inducement. So really, in reality, I don't want to see what price does right here. Does price support this? And does price here from this over here, does price now begin to move up and then create more, right? I need price to also break this. Right? I need price to break that too, that high. $202. Yeah, 202. This liquidity over here. Yeah, this liquidity might not matter. Honestly, what I could see is this is where we see a fair value gap form from this liquidity. I don't think price will respect this liquidity. This is the liquidity that matters. And what Kyle said, 202. This liquidity up here is what matters, right? I think what's going to happen is this. Price is going to move up, break the liquidity over here, break that liquidity. Then you're going to get a substructure of bearish momentum back down to the fair value gap that formed over here. Boom, boom. That's the structure I want to do. And this is where I'll enter on this retrace, right? I won't enter here. I'll wait for this liquidity to be broken. Bearish substructure, higher low created, higher high created, right? And then I enter on this. That's what I'm waiting for. But 202 is a key point. 202, which is this liquidity zone up here, is very important. But I also want to see what it does here too. All right. So Solana and Ethereum, I see beginning to create bullish formation, right? Where Bitcoin looks a little more bearish right now, where Solana and Ethereum are looking a little bit more bullish and creating more bullish structure. Now, that could be substructure for bearish formation in the main structure, but we'll see. I'm watching it. I'm not in any positions yet. I'm waiting. But I could see it happening soon. All right, we got our viewers back. Maybe my X stream is back up. That was weird. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think we could see some bearish move on Bitcoin and bullish move on Ethereum and Solana in the short run. Bitcoin definitely, if you compare Solana and Ethereum to Bitcoin, Bitcoin had their run up here. I'm gonna change the scene real fast. If you compare Ethereum and Solana to Bitcoin, Bitcoin had their run up, while Solana and Ethereum are kind of lagging to what Bitcoin and Solana, or what Solana and Ethereum are doing, right? Ethereum has not broken previous highs to the left. Solana, it broke all-time high, but then saw immediate retracement. Bitcoin broke all-time high and saw a massive pump, right? So Bitcoin is kind of leading the pack, while Ethereum, Solana, and altcoins are kind of falling behind. My guess is with this Bitcoin dip, we might see some bullish momentum on things like Ethereum and Solana. And then when Bitcoin really starts to rip, we see Solana and Ethereum and those altcoins really start to rip also. And so I think Ethereum and Solana are lagging compared to what Bitcoin is doing. What do you think of Zcash? I don't know what Zcash is. I honestly have no thought of it. Morning sick. No really thought. Honestly, on this channel, I'll just be straight up with you guys. We mainly focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and some of the top coins. Like we'll look at XRP, but really, I like to just trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana at the moment. I think they're really good. I think they're really great. I have spot positions in smaller altcoins, but really, I love Solana, Bitcoin are my favorite, and then Ethereum, I think it has potential, but really Solana and Bitcoin are my favorite to trade. Ethereum, I'm trading it because I see the potential. But yeah, it follows Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, all cryptocurrencies follow Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin does, cryptocurrencies do, right? Whatever the S&P 500 is doing, Bitcoin's doing. Whatever Bitcoin's doing, altcoins do, right? And subcoins do. And then whatever of that main chain does, their altcoins do, their L2s, right? So Solana is an L1. Whatever Solana does, its L2s are probably doing the same, right? So, yeah. All right, guys, I have some video editing and video recording I gotta get done. I gotta create like 6 videos today, and so I'm gonna move on from this and the live stream and start getting that work done. But guys, I want to thank you so much for being here on the stream. I want to thank you for supporting me. I want to thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope this technical analysis that we went into was super helpful. We got a lot of planned streams coming up in January because we got Jupuary coming up. We got I'm gonna try to do some price prediction for 2025 on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. What could they do in 2025? What has been historical after a year of election, right? We're gonna look at that stuff. So I'm excited to kick off 2025. I'm also working on something that once it's complete, I'm gonna like let you guys in on something I accomplished, and also on that strategy I'm working on, like fine tuning. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you can, like, follow, subscribe, share the streams, and we will see you guys not next week. Next week I am fully traveling, so I will not be streaming. I looked into if I could do it. I won't be able to stream, and so next week I won't be streaming at all. And I will stream the real full week of January. That'll be the first stream, and we got some streams to kick off on that. We're gonna do 2025 price prediction, Jupuary, what to expect, and then also just normal TA that we normally do. And I have something starting in 2025 also that I'll let you guys know once it's finalized. Yeah, I'm excited for 2025. 2025 is gonna be fun. It is gonna be really fun. So all right, everyone, I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. I do really appreciate you guys, and you guys have made 2024 so much fun doing these streams. I mean, I never thought it would get to where it got this year, for the streams that we did this year. I was having so much fun. We had a stream, a peak of 200 plus viewers at one point, and I love it. I love it. It's so exciting. So thank you, everyone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday, and I will see you all later.